King Solomon was a young man when he became the ruler of Israel. He inherited a mighty kingdom from his father, King David. Solomon was a good man, and he loved God. He wanted to be a wise and just king, but he knew he needed God's help. One day, Solomon went to Gibeon, where the tent of meeting stood. He offered 1,000 burnt offerings to God, showing his deep devotion. Solomon knew that ruling a kingdom was a big responsibility. He needed guidance. That night, God appeared to Solomon in a dream. Imagine a young king lying on his royal bed, the weight of the kingdom heavy on his heart. Suddenly, a bright light filled the room, and a voice boomed, "Solomon, ask what I shall give you." Solomon felt humbled and amazed. He could ask for anything: wealth, power, even a long life. But Solomon knew what was truly important. He needed wisdom to guide his people with justice and fairness. Solomon knelt before God in his dream. With a sincere heart, he said, "O Lord my God, you have made your servant king in place of my father David, although I am but a little child. I do not know how to go out or come in." Solomon was aware of his limitations. He knew that he was young and inexperienced, but he trusted in God's guidance. He desired wisdom above all else. "Give your servant, therefore, an understanding mind to govern your people, that I may discern between good and evil. For who is able to govern this, your great people?" Solomon's words echoed in the silence of the night. The young king's request touched God's heart. Solomon had not asked for selfish gain, but for the wisdom to serve his people well. God was pleased with Solomon's humility and his desire to honor him. God responded to Solomon, "Because you have asked this, and have not asked for yourself long life or riches or the life of your enemies, but have asked for yourself understanding to discern what is right. Behold, I now do according to your word." God promised to grant Solomon's request. Not only would he receive wisdom, but God also promised him riches and honor beyond measure. Solomon's humility had earned him God's favor. Section 6. The Test of Wisdom. The very next day, Solomon faced a difficult situation. Two women came to him, both claiming to be the mother of the same baby. They argued before the king, each desperate to prove her claim. Solomon listened carefully to their stories. It was a difficult case. How could he possibly know the truth? But Solomon, empowered by God's wisdom, devised a plan. Section 7. A King's Wise Judgment. Solomon called for a sword. "Divide the living child in two and give half to the one and half to the other," he ordered. One woman cried out, "O my lord, give her the living child, and by no means put him to death." But the other said, "It shall be neither mine nor yours. Divide it." Solomon knew instantly who the real mother was. The woman who was willing to give up her child to save his life was the true mother. Solomon's judgment revealed his wisdom and his compassion. Section 8. The Wisest Man on Earth. From that day forward, King Solomon's wisdom was known throughout the land. People came from far and wide to seek his counsel. He built a magnificent temple for God in Jerusalem, a testament to his faith and his wisdom. King Solomon's reign was a time of peace and prosperity. He ruled with justice and fairness, guided by the wisdom God had given him. Solomon's story reminds us that true wisdom comes from God. Section 9. Seeking wisdom today. Just like Solomon, we too can ask God for wisdom in our lives. We may not face the same challenges as a king, but we all have decisions to make, problems to solve, and relationships to navigate. When we put God first in our lives and seek his guidance, he promises to give us the wisdom we need. Let us remember Solomon's story and be inspired to seek God's wisdom in all that we do.